Hello everybody, this is Zhou Zheng channel. Today is November 26th. Yesterday we have taken the Thanksgiving. But right now we came to the Beverly Hills, Santa Monica Boulevard, Winn Slavin Gallery. Really today is a little bit of a unique interview. I always, pandemic is the time, every guest I met, I always call them superhero. Today I want to call myself the superhero because this strange time we do interview really everybody, even all my staff, my cameraman or photographers, they are superhero. Today I will interview a superhero. People call him Michael Sean, but the real name is Michael Sean Degnan. But I want to call him Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Joey. How are you?
A little bit, yeah. Okay, you know why? Very thank you to coming our show, Zhou Zheng Art channel.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, with the same thank you.
Did you get enough to eat?
Yes. So you know why? Right now, pandemic really shut down everything. So we just very have the courage to and inspiring do this interview. Really want to my audience to know what we will talk about that, and not only for art. So like I always see, life is art. Art comes from life. But without art, we cannot imagine a life. Even the pandemic time, this is still life. So we talk about life, or we talk about the art. So Michael, can I call you Michael?
Yes.
Yes, okay, Michael, I want to know a little bit, introduce yourself, tell me the background of your art in the industry.
Well, Joey, you know, when I was a little kid, people would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would say an artist.
Oh, really?
And they'd say, stay in school. When I was a little older, what do you want to be? I would say an artist. And they'd say, well, get a real job. Then when I got a real job and I was a vice president of a real estate company,
wow,
I said, I want to be an artist. So no matter what I've ever done to earn a living, I paint and I visit galleries and I encourage young artists to advance themselves. And I've never stopped wanting to be an artist. And since youth.
Yeah, good. So you know why you have the passion to be an artist? You are artist. You get a paint. You painter. You are painter. You paint. You're paint, right?
Yes, I'm a painter, and I've been a painter forever. But I make my living, and my passion is in helping people grow as artists and helping collectors achieve their goals with art. So my passion outside, my hobby, and my own personal therapy comes from creating art. But my career and my drive and my motivation is helping these artists find their way to new homes across the world. Literally, you know, I want to get my artists on walls around the world.
Okay, Michael, I know, as we know, in United States, there are 2 million artists, even more than lawyer. I heard the lawyer only United States, only 1 million. So artists are 2 million. That means the competition is so hard. And right now, pandemic, in entertainment industry, they already cancel more than 10,000 concerts. So everybody face the challenge. So as a creator, as a top sales, as an art dealer, what kind of the challenge you are facing right now?
You know, it's funny is other people look at things as a challenge. And I look at those exact same things as an opportunity. For instance, we were traveling and scheduled in 2021 to exhibit in 10 different countries. And that meant the weeks going to China, for instance, we did 2 shows in Shanghai last year. We had 2 scheduled for this year. they would have taken us away from our home base for weeks at a time for each show. So in that time, we're not developing our galleries and our clients back home. We're spending time in China and Russia. You know, even our New York show is a long way from home. So what this opportunity has been, it's caused us to sit down and say, how can we reach out to the world without shipping millions of dollars to other countries, without just reaching that 100,000 or 300,000 that show up in an art show? How can we reach the community at large? So we're spending a lot more time and energy on creating content that's educational, entertaining, and informational. And this has been fantastic. Of course, I live in Hollywood. We have got the greatest producers and camera people in the world here. So the opportunity for me is to travel the world right from my gallery here in Beverly Hills.
Okay, so how many years you involved in this art industry?
Well, so since I was 16, I've
So you
traveled.
restarted your business, the art business.
Yeah, back then I did art shows for local artists. I rented
Wow.
space. I would rent little dumpy warehouses and put 40 artists in and charge them to come. So I made money off of putting on the shows. There was a time when I did trash to treasure or repurposed art shows where people bring junk and they make it into art, right? And I had a beautiful time with that for about 10 years. And I developed those shows. Making a living has been great because the art community is in all the most beautiful places to live. I've worked in New York, Las Vegas. I've worked on Maui. I had 10 years in Hawaii working with some of the greatest artists and collectors in the world before this opportunity came in Beverly Hills. So for 40 years straight, I have earned a good portion.
At least get 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
For as a professional, art dealer. Okay.
Going to shows. And,
Okay, Michael, right now, everybody gets scared to go outside. Not only because the government give our policy to not going outside. Even right now, restaurant or shut down or close. Even today, I cannot buy the coffee. Even go there some restaurant. So to the artist, what do you want to tell them?
Well, again, what looks like a terrible thing to one group is a great thing to another. For one thing, my artists that I represent, Sir Daniel Winn, Michelle DeRoche, Ira Reigns, they're not traveling. They're not going out to dinners, or they're working. They're passionate. They're in their studios. And from the viewer side, people are staying home. More people are cooking. More people are spending time in their dining rooms, in their living rooms. So therefore, they're surrounded by art. So the opportunity for us as both artists and art dealers is to help make the space they're spending more time in than ever in their lives more beautiful, better, more personal.
Yeah, I agree because this is challenge, pandemic everybody face, but it is a great opportunity to the artist. They have the more time to stay at home, to concentrate there, to paint, even to writers, because I write.
Absolutely.
I'm a writer. I write the poems sometimes, so I know how to concentrate. Sometimes you're not sociable. A lot of invitation to go outside. So, okay, Michael, I want to ask you a service question about your art dealer. So, how you choose artists to be represented, and in other words, how you looking for artworks?
Well, it's a great question, Joey, and I have that question pretty much everywhere I go, whether it's at an art show or out to dinner with my friends. everybody has a friend that's a great artist, and they always want to know how they get started. How do you make it to a blue chip gallery like this one? And can I explain a little bit about blue chip? So there's emerging artists. Emerging artists will be found in small galleries, and their artwork sells for hundreds of dollars, and it might be beautiful, but you can't get an appraisal on it, or you can't insure it. So the next level is blue chip art. And a blue chip artist is an artist that has attended the major shows, has auction results that absolutely support their values, and they make it into the top contest in the world. The difference between an emerging artist and a blue chip artist is 10,000 denials. How many times have I been turned down by the major shows? So far, 40 years straight to get it to a blue chip show. Just like as an author, how many times do you get rejected before something gets published? A lot, right? You write a lot before somebody likes something enough to publish it. Well, what happens with artists? They get turned down 5 or 10 times. They get rejections, 5 or 10 rejection letters. And they say, oh, I'm no good, I'm not good enough, it's rigged, they don't know what they're doing, and they stop putting themselves out there. So you can practice all you want. You can become the most proficient and technically wonderful artist in the world. But if you don't put yourself out there, which means getting accepted sometimes, but getting rejected a lot, you'll always just be an artist in your own home with your friends. You know?
Okay, so Michael, you are top sales. I can tell I heard of it. You are top sales in the world right now, pandemic. You still sell of the sculpture and paintings. That's like easy. Because everybody taking challenge right now, even no collector outside for don't go to gallery, you know. I think you have a lot of the good credit and trust for your collector. Your collector still follow you and go, even not coming to gallery, they still, hey, Michael, call you. I want some piece. They trust you. I think you have you're working hard for many, many years. That's why you get the good results. But I want to know, as a top sales of the art dealer in the world, what are the secrets of your success?
The secrets of my success. Well, I could tell you, Joey, but there's no secret. In every industry, in order to become a top producer, you have to cultivate the first clients you meet and keep them to the end of your career.
Oh, okay.
All right, there is no such thing as being a top person in an industry right away, because those people we call flash in the pans, one-hit wonders. They come into an industry and they do really well for several months or a year, but they can't maintain it. What I've done is I've built a long-term career. My original clients were buying artwork for hundreds of dollars from me. They were young people in law school, medical school, and now they've graduated, they've built their practices, and when they were young doctors and lawyers, they bought emerging art in the thousands. You know, 4,000, 5,000 would be a nice piece. Now they're 20 years in, right? We were all kids together now. Now they're 20 years into their career, and I'm starting to work their collections with Picassos and Dalis, original ink on paper, you know, not quite canvas yet, you know, that's another category. And all along the way, what I do and what I've done is I've understood my client's collection. And that means, like, for instance, the other day I talked to one of my clients and I sold him a Caldor for about $35,000 15 years ago. It's very postmodern and it no longer fits their lifestyle. Well, what I've been doing is I get their collection appraised every year to 2 years. I review their collection. This Calder went from 40,000 to 200 plus. and they don't like it anymore. So rather than try and sell it in a market we're not sure of, we donated that piece. And they picked up a beautiful tax advantage. And it's something that a lot of people don't know about, but the government allows this so that beautiful works go from private collections into the public domain so everybody can see them. And they give those collectors a wonderful tax advantage. So now I've freed up a wall in his house. I got him some money for a piece. And of course he turned right around and we found him something else that's relevant, that fits with his new style and his decorating. So it's building and cultivating a business over many years and never, ever, ever losing your credibility.
Right now, Michael, you know why? If some artist with art piece work is very famous, like Dali, like Pablo Picasso, like their Van Gogh, it's more easy to sell. If right now the artist, it may be that famous, but their works just like, okay, right now we say $100,000. How you can make them to be the meaner dollars? Because people call you meaner. Michael is the meanest of the art dealer. I like the name. Do you like the nickname?
Yeah, I like it.
Meaner the art dealer. That's everybody art dealer want to pursue this nickname because it means you have good name to the artist. But artists will chase you also. So I want you to tell me experience about this. How you make their artist, the piece of work, their artwork to be the another level.
It goes again, it speaks to time. It speaks to building blocks. When an artist starts off, they have to be prolific. They have to try a lot of different styles. Michel Desroches, for instance, didn't paint like this until the end of his psychology career. And then
he's a college. So this is the college. Okay.
This style struck him, and he developed something brand new for himself, and he stayed with that. So now we've established who he is. We've taken him. He has a manager who is us, basically, and we take him to all the major shows around the country.
Around the United States?
Yeah, mostly the United States, but Michel's also been to a bunch of our international shows.
Okay.
I took him to China, Shanghai last year and did great. It's so different. This is Western art. It's so different than the Chinese art. And I love that because it's something that, I'm getting off topic, but art spans language and culture. But for Michel, we started with his work and we built sales. When we actually do a transaction at Art New York or Basel, that transaction is recorded. So, for instance, Michel Desroches, $17,500 sale 5 years ago at a major show. Well, that is a record of that show. And I can prove that that one sold for $17,500. The next one sold for $18,900. The next one sold for $22,000. So by slowly and consistently raising his value in each piece we sell, each series we sell, we don't allow other galleries to sell his work, so nobody will ever have a sale. You will never ever walk in and see one of our artists offered for sale for less. It's always more. So when somebody says, can you do something on the price on this piece? It's basically, yes, you can wait and pay more. There'll never be less.
Okay, cool.
So by continually uplifting and supporting each value, we slowly and surely rise that value. Then it comes a point where there's more demand than the artist can produce for the galleries or even his clients. So now we have a very diminished availability of his work. And at this point in time is when we start talking to Christie's or Sotheby's. And that's when you start seeing $1 million sales with an artist. I've only got one artist that's bumping up against that limit now. The problem is, once we take them there, then it's not affordable for all the people that we built the business with. So originals become too expensive, and you've lost the fun part of the market, you know, bringing in new clients. So there's an evolution of things. A lot of artists will do with reproductions. When they get to a point where their demand is higher than their production, they'll start making what's called a giclée. Have you heard the term? A giclée is a machine. It's a large format printer that's 50 inches wide. There's 32 cartridges of color, and canvas rolls through the machine, and it just paints it with a machine.
Oh, wow.
And you have
Our first time that we heard it.
You have an exact reproduction of the original, and then they claim that it's limited production. Who knows? You push a button, you make 5,000 copies or 2,000 copies. We don't do any of that. We work only with original works.
Original works.
The only
Okay.
our contemporary living artists are original works. Our Dalis, Picassos. We have a wide variety of different masterworks that may be a limited edition copper etchings, a very low number lithograph, something very collectible like that. But for living working artists, we will never make a reproduction of any of this work. So the chances of you walking in and seeing another one it's not going to happen.